Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to Let's Play World of Warcraft with Rhoxio. In the last part, we did some questing, we did Drill the Drill Master, and some other crap like that. Today, we're doing Blood Furnace, of course, as you can tell by the entrance and all of the blood that's dropping. Yes, you do collect Philorg blood vials for a quest from Commander Trollbane. I don't think it's actually Commander Trollbane, I think it's his little orc assistant. At any rate, we're coming out here. And we're just going to kill some orcs. This is a pretty normal instance, actually. There's quite a few pulls in here, though. It's kind of a long segment, you can tell. It's like 14-something minutes long. So, these guys just pull in packs, and the imps are actually non-elite, so they die like really fast just with some AoE. And at this point, I'm not really using anything. I'm just using I think I just end up using Heart Strike, and I don't even usually do the best of this thing. Because there really isn't any point. I remember doing this on Heroic back in BC, and it was so freaking hard. But I don't want to reminisce too much because I'll get all misty-eyed and stuff like that and go, I miss when WoW was actually really hard. And on these stairs, you need to watch out. This is why the tank is going back and forth. You need to watch out because there's stealth guys around, and they jump your healer. Your healer is going to get boned. See, that rogue guy just popped out right there, and he got completely owned. Because rogues have no armor. And oh look, the mage got jumped. Wow, look at the mage's health. It took out like half of his health already. That's freaking ridiculous. These things do hit pretty hard. You do kind of have to be careful in here. And there's another rogue. Also, something, I remember there used to be a bug in this next room. You could wall jump up this thing. If you look in here to the right, you could wall jump up this thing and actually get into the final boss room in just normal Blood Furnace. They patched it though. That was like the wall jump patch that they did like, I don't know how many years ago. They probably did it like 2 years ago. The wall jump patch or whatever. Yeah, you actually used to be able to like jump up walls. You know, look that stuff up. It's pretty freaking insane actually. But at any rate, so this whole beginning part of the instance is pretty much just killing orcs. I mean, you know, come to think of it, most VC instances don't really have a boss right off the bat, except for I think it's Manitombs, who has that that one dude right off the bat. I mean, in here you have to go through like two or three hallways just to get to him. In one big room with like like 8 poles in it. Sucks a little bit, but I mean, it's generally pretty fun to watch because you get to watch people do or watch or do because you get a chance at a lot of loot. And I always have such terrible luck with loot in these runs. Like, I'm not even kidding. I have some of the worst loot luck on this character ever. I've had stuff drop from me before. Even in, like, later segments. You'll see, I think I only pick up, like, 1 or 2 new pieces of gear out of all of the instances that I do. And they're like, oh, share quests, duh, because we totally don't do the chain quests outside. Anyway, so we're going in here, we're going to kill some more of these guys, because they suck. And this is hella boring. But, you know, I'm not going to cut through an instance. I mean, it's stupid to cut through an instance. But the good news is I'm getting my Philorg blood vials, and I'm like, what the hell's going on? I didn't realize you had to be within range for Mind Freeze, because I just assumed, since Death Knights are so good at interrupting captures, that I can use Mind Freeze from a distance. Is it bad that I assumed that? I don't know if it is, and I don't know if it isn't. Assuming that a melee class can use a ranged interrupt. I mean, well, shamans get wins here, but that's a whole different story. Shamans aren't as OP as freaking Death Knights. But yeah, ooh, I hit from 666. The number of the beast. I would totally sing that song, but I'm so tired right now. And I actually, a little update on the internet. We ended up buying a new router, and it's freaking amazing. It's an amazing router. It actually looks good now. It doesn't look like a freaking blue piece of plastic sitting on the floor in the back room here. But yeah, these technicians are completely terrible because they drop bombs on the ground and they throw dynamite, which both do AoE damage. The bombs hit for like 600 to like 600 to 1200. And they freaking hurt, like, seriously. I think you might actually see me die to him in this run. If not this run, I think, well, I think I have some close calls. I don't know. We'll see what happens. At any rate, the bombs on Heroic are completely deadly. They suck so bad. And as you can see, the Maker is the first boss in here. He's just over there. From here on out, the bosses come a lot quicker. I see how he dropped that little mine on the ground. You can't really disarm them, so you just kind of have to step on them if you want to get rid of them. And these warlocks have like no armor, so they get owned. And as you can see, the technicians are throwing dynamite at the healer. Yay! So much fun. And again, oh, I thought we pulled the boss right there. I was looking, I'm like, what the hell? Because, you know, he moved a little bit. Now, you get to see my elite sauce DPS single target. Hell yeah. Oh, come on, buddy. I wish the tank would pull. Tanks take forever to pull in this friggin' game sometimes. It's so annoying. Like, oh, the healer was low on mana. Never mind, tank. You did your job. So I pop my Hysteria because I'm a greedy bastard. And holy shit, I almost crit for 2,000 at this point. And he goes down really quick. He really... See, this... I lose my freaking gloves right here to the tank, and I'm like, God damn it! Anyway. Yeah. What's it called? Basically, all that boss does, he knocks you up in the air. He also has a chance to... I think he, like... I think he mind controls you on heroic mode or whatever, but... You know, whatever. He mind controls, he does shit. See right here. Oh, this is where the... Oh, this is where the tank died. And I had the tank, and I was like, oh balls, and I ended up dying. But they end up living anyway. Which kind of sucked. You know, sucked really bad. Bad tank. Bad tank. No, actually, this tank was pretty good. The healer just out of line of sight for some reason. Or rather, the tank ran the mobs out of line of sight at the last second. And I dropped my Death and Decay, and I put on Frost Presence, and I still died. And you might have noticed I had thanks typed out for a really long time before the res. As soon as they res me, I always tell them thanks. Remember to always thank your healers. They literally save your life. And they saved your life, and they gave you life back. Basically, think of healers as your mother. They gave you life, they will give you life, and they'll give you your life back. You can always move in with them if you're a failure at life and you collect comic books in your basement. You know, there's always a safe situation. At any rate, at least she's dead. But yeah, on a brighter note, these guys die like bitches. Luckily, the technicians don't have much armor or health. I mean, I think they do have a little more health than the like the neophytes and stuff in here, and of course they have higher health than the warlocks. But aside from that, aside from being such a dangerous freaking mob, they're not that hard to kill, really. I mean, I totally missed the freaking interrupt right there, and I'm a failed Death Knight. Just say it. Say it in the comments, I am the most failed Death Knight ever. Just do it. Not really. I'm not that failed. At least I hope I'm not fail. I've been playing this game for too long to really fail in any class, to be honest. I mean, do you ever get those groups with people that you just don't know how they can be so bad in such a short amount of time? I mean, personally, what I do is I always look up what I'm supposed to do when I get to 80. I mean, as I'm leveling up, generally I can figure out a good rotation. But before that, after I level up, I look up what's the best, I look up what I should do, I look up what talent spec is the optimal DPS spec, and I make sure I know all of the encounters before I do them. And I don't get how people can't do that. I really don't. The information is so readily available, it's stupid not to look up this stuff. I mean, in all seriousness, when I go on like Elitist Jerks or, you know, some theory crafting website, whichever one I decide to go to, and I usually look at the math, and I do the math for my gear, and I do the math for my hit rating, I do the math for my, you know, whatever the hell stats I have. I use the spreadsheets and stuff they give you for like Excel documents, and I figure out what I need. And that, in return, makes me a much better player than I would be without the spreadsheets, without the information, and just going off of talent specs and figuring out what I would have to do on my own. It basically takes away from me having to play the character for an extra, you know, 3 weeks just to figure it out completely. And, you know, most characters do play about the same. Like, for instance, Death Knights play a lot like Warriors, but they also play a lot like Warlocks. I've played Warriors before. I have like a level 64 warrior, but it's on a different server. So it's not like I don't know how to play a warrior. And I had a rogue, so I know how to play a melee DPS. I know how to tank because I have my paladin. Aside from that, I pretty much know how to play anything possible. It's just a matter of specializing in it. At any rate, we're almost done here. You'll see how this event actually ends up going. It's kind of a unique event, although on heroic mode, I really do seriously think this is one of the hardest instances on heroic mode. Because, well, mainly because of this boss. But I mean, if your healer sucked on this boss, you were pretty much, you were boned pretty friggin' hard. I mean, you could do it with kind of a bad tank, but if your healer was bad, then you were done. You were just straight up done. There was no coming back. There's no, like, saying, oh, I'm sorry I messed up on that, guys. It was done! you were dead. So they flip the switch, and the tank is like, what the fuck, LOL. And basically what this does is you flip the switch, and it makes all the pens open up. The pens only open up one at a time, unless you take too goddamn long, and yeah. And that was going for the Warlock side of death group, whatever. And time for some AoE. I get it in here, and I'm like, oh yeah, AoE time. I really got to AoE this instance, so yeah. Okay, yeah, I'll say this is Warlock. So, more damage, more damage, more damage, and it might be kind of boring, but, you know, whatever. Instances are always a lot of fun. At least most of them, unless it's shitty, like, freaking... Like, some instances with, like, timed events are pretty fun if you have a good group, but if you're trying to make the timed event, people are bad. It's just bad. Like, think Caverns of Time Stratholme before the friggin' all the patches and stuff. Alright, now it's time to kill this bastard. Maximum DPS, go! And I popped my rune sword kind of late, but whatever, I still did a crap load of DPS. And I think I might start turning recount on a little later in the videos, after like episode 20 or something. Just to see how much DPS I'm really doing. And what the hell? I guess I left the music on or something, or I turned the music on. Because all of a sudden there was music. Oh, what? That was hella weird. What the hell? The drum just like kicked in for like no reason. Holy shit. And actually, Warlocks, as you'll see later in this clip, you can actually enslave these demons, and they actually have some pretty freaking crazy abilities. In fact, I think the Warlock enslaves one of them right now. Yep, he just enslaved one, see? Oh, he just did the freaking, I apply my records backwards. He says I play my records backwards. It's kind of cool. Anyway, what is he saying? Oh, haste totem, not melee. Hey, I want my melee totem. Aw. And this pull on heroic used to be a bitch too, because the imps would hit for like 1,000. So what you'd have to do is you'd have to line of sight them around the corner, have the AoE DPS AoEing like right off the bat, or else your tank would get fucked and your healer would get fucked, and one of the DPS would almost always die on that pull. Because they would pull aggro and the tank couldn't hold them all, of course, and if the tank could hold them all, he would get aggro and die! Because it was so amazing. But yeah, these guys do a bit of a charge. They're not too bad. I mean, I could probably take on one of these groups on my own. Except the brutes charge like hell, and they're kind of annoying. At any rate, we're actually almost done with this instance, surprisingly. And Harlee's like... And I mistyped like 100 times. Oh, I just realized I still haven't put a link to Harlee's channel in the comments. Well, I think I'd go do Overlord in the next video. So in the next video, I don't know. I'll just put a link to his channel in the comments. He's a cool cat, you guys. Really, you should check out his channel. I think it's just Harlee Harrison. It's his channel name, Harlee Harrison. Yeah. At any rate, more killing, and now. And he's like, fucking G heals, man. And someone died anyway. We got kind of a big pull there, of course. But whatever. I lived. I don't gotta pay a repair bill. Hell yeah. Come on. Freaking res faster, man. Need more haste rating, Shaman. It's supposed to stack haste. And the demonic female deny laugh. My blood will be the end of you. God, fucking Magtheridon's a tweaker, dude. Freaking, he's like, oh, and I got both my quests done. Hell yeah. I'd be happy to leave right now. Now, at this point, I was hoping for the Howling Warsong axe, but of course, it doesn't drop for me, so I'm like, fuck my life. You'll see. And what this boss does, basically, is he evocates and he explodes. But we killed him before he even got a chance to explode. But yeah, he's pretty easy. Of course, the freaking belt drops, and I'm like, god damn it! But actually, that'll be about it for this section. So, make sure you guys comment, rate, subscribe, and I will catch you guys later for sure.